Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for attending today, and thanks again to Greg for inviting us here. It's a pleasure to be here. As mentioned, my name is Janet Lee Sheriff. I am the CEO. I am, full disclosure, married to the chair of the board. I don't have a board seat. I have a fully independent board other than Bill Sheriff, and we are the largest shareholders of the company. Before I go into the company, and I have to watch the clock so I can do this, if I can leave you with one thing to keep in mind about Golden Predator is we don't have to finance at these prices. So right now our stock's about 30 cents. It has been dropping, and we have a plan in place where we don't bring the cash below $5 million, which would be the plan for this year. We also have the benefit of bulk sampling at 3 Aces, which is a high-grade gold project in the Yukon in the southeast. And we did a bulk sample a few years ago, and that netted the company about $1 million. It was 770 tons. It teaches us a lot about the project, the geology, technical information that we acquire from this is massive. But it also has a nice byproduct when you have high-grade gold and it's at surface. So this year we will be bulk sampling about 6,000 to 7,000 tons. So that cost us about $400 an ounce to process at our own plant. So that is our plan to get through difficult times and not have to finance at these prices. It just gives us optionality, and not to say that we wouldn't at higher prices. Disclaimer, the usual. I'll speak today about two projects that we have, Brewery Creek and 3 Aces. 85% of our budget is spent on 3 Aces, 15% on Brewery Creek. And I think Brewery Creek is the real sleeper in the company. We always take a very progressive approach with the First Nations and the community. My background, I've been working with the Kaska Nation for 30 years, and we build off of that relationship. It helps de-risk the project, and it brings the community along with us. And as we always say, if they're not benefiting from this, why would they want you there? Right now, about a $40 million market cap, 130 million shares outstanding. After our holding, Eric Sprott personally is in, McEwen Mining is in, about 13% is held by high net worth investors at CIBC, and Pat DiCapo with Dave right here is actually part of our shareholders too, so we're always happy to have him. He's been very important to the company. We have a strong board, but then, hey, I'm married to the chair, so what am I going to say, right? I think this is being filmed, so he's great. We this year had a great geologist join our board, Rich Goldfarb, and Rich has formed an Exploration Management Council. It's a bit different than having a VPX. It gives us a real brain trust of talent on the region, and I believe that their strategy of these sessions and time in the field has already benefited Brewery Creek and is benefiting 3 Aces. Rich is one of the leading experts in the world. Again, First Nations, incredibly important. I'll be leaving here and going up to an elders retreat at site. The elders have been part of the program. They live with us, they work with us, and they provide incredible benefits, and we learn from them. I believe that their participation has actually seen our staff changes go to almost zero. 50% of our staff at site is First Nation. I'll start with the projects. 3 Aces. 357 square kilometer project, high-grade gold at surface. We've got about 30,000 meters of drilling. Predominantly, we've worked in the central core area, which I will try and locate right here. We did some drilling into Sprague to follow the structure. The trend goes the entire project, but it's very expensive, so we have to prove up the model here. What we're finding is that we have a predominant structure like you would in an orogenic system, and we look for the secondary fault, which is where we're going to find what we call vein corridors. And that is something that produces the high-grade abundance of the gold. So this is just a map of the central core. This was the first discovery up in the Hearts. We had a second outcrop here, and this is where we're bulk sampling. And we're right now drilling about 400 meters deep in between here, and this is several kilometers, and that would if it proves up, and we are always hopeful, that this would show a lot of size to the project. We did also go across the river into Sprague, and those results have just, the final holes have gone to the lab, and the first hole from the deep drilling, about 400 meters, has gone to the lab. This is just a picture of the mountain showing the central core, and I'm going to show you where we're presently right now in here drilling, and this is where we're doing the bulk sample. So the bulk sample, the small little, almost diamond shape spot, is where we did the bulk sample from 2016 that brought us about 30 kilograms of gold. That was about 1.3 ounces per ton. And we're going into this area here. Last year we did a grade control drilling of that, and it was on 5-meter spacing. I think it's fair to say that the market severely criticized us for that. They thought we were just high grading. We were actually trying to determine what was there before we bulk sampled. With 5-meter spacing, you think you'd hit all the veins. Once we started blasting, we found 3 new veins that we didn't know about. It's basically, in non-technical terms, it's like a bowl of spaghetti. And when you get into these vein clusters, they go every which way. But this is the type of stuff that we've learned from the bulk sample, as well as being able to put the gold through the plant. A picture of our plant. It's a 50-ton-a-day plant. It's about 3 hours from the project. It's all gravity and water, no chemicals, 90% recovery. This is huge when you get into permitting issues. It's a closed circuit. We are very proud of the work we're doing there. And doing this without sending it to China, it also keeps all the jobs in the area, which makes the community quite happy. This has allowed us to form a subsidiary company called the Yukon Mint. The Yukon Mint has now produced gold coins with the Casca Nation, with Casca art. We're selling those coins for $1,400 US an ounce, and sales are ongoing, and we share some of the profit proceeds with the First Nation. Again, it's another value added into the community and brings the community along with us, and we get a premium for our gold. And we'll do this again this year. The contest has already started. Brewery Creek, very quickly, is a past producer. It's a 186 square kilometer property. Properties in the Yukon are very big, and you don't have to pay to hold them. It's located 45 minutes from Dawson. They produced from 96 to 02. They left ounces. We spent about $20 million a number of years ago to build those ounces up to about 850,000 oxide. We did a PEA. It's a nice project. It has a very modest IRR of about 19%. Our objective right now, and we did some exploration and metallurgical drilling, is to take that to a double on the IRR. We're exploring vat leaching as an opportunity instead of heap leaching. That again has the community quite happy, and it would make it would enhance the economics while also being better for the environment. We did have some great results on our exploration drilling, and we, again, the credit goes to having a high-level strategic group of a brain trust of geologists that set the path forward for a strong technical team. Just a photo of Brewery Creek when it was operating before, and it's in great shape now. That's about it. We are still drilling. Core drilling, we've just finished up at Sprague, and we'll finish up by the end of the month at the Central Core. We'll get back to Brewery Creek, weather permitting this year. If not, we'll have to do it during the winter because it's boggy where we want to go. Got money in the bank and a great team, and if you have any further questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them later. Thank you.